Good evening, my family. I hope you like this overhead view better. I don't know about you, but there are times when I've seen cooking channels, I really like to see what's going on inside the pot. So I've been learning to adapt that you can see what's going on. Tonight or today has been a really cold day, rainy, dark, gloomy, and I've been kind of taking the weekend down just to recuperate from so many things lately. And I'm wanting to put wholesome nutrition into our bodies. So it's going to be another soup night. However, it's going to be a night where I am going to convert an original recipe and change it to more of a low carb recipe, the way I've been trying to teach you all before. I am actually working on a Hungarian mushroom soup. It is, oh my gosh, the best soup I have ever tasted. Now, granted, I'm not sure if this would be for everyone. I would encourage you to try it, and you can eliminate some pieces in this ingredients if you wanted to. So I'm going to use them all, but I'm also going to convert it so that it's safe for my husband. Right now, I am going to start with, no, I forgot the side. The side that we're going to have with this is ham and cheese, grilled ham and cheese sandwiches. James is going to be getting ham and Swiss. I am going to get ham and Havarti. The ham that we are using is not a deli meat. It is a ham that we had taken back, I believe, about Christmas, and I used my slicer and sliced my own. So that's what we're going to use. So now onto this soup. It is a Hungarian mushroom soup, and I'm going to start with the recipe says 3 tablespoons of butter. I am going to choose 3 tablespoons of ghee. The reason for it, it's easier to digest. It is lactose tolerant. Although I don't have to deal with lactose, I just like the fact that this ghee is so much gentler on our body. So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of it. And yes, I will include the recipe in it for you. Both ways, the converted side in parentheses, the original written out. My ghee is hard. Let me get a spatula here. And I need 1 more tablespoon. I hope you can see this pretty good. That was pretty. Okay. I'm going to let this melt down just a tad bit more. I'm going to turn my stove up a little bit. Okay, my next ingredients is 2 cups of chopped onions. You're welcome to use any type of onion you want. You can use regular onions, purple onions, anything. I am choosing to use bunching onions. I happen to have some, and that's what I'm going to use. So we're going to add the onions in here. Now mind you, this is a soup that will spread. It can feed a large family. It could feed 2, and with my leftovers, I can freeze them for another evening. So that's a little end I didn't want in there. So I'm just going to take this for about 5 minutes and saute these up. I'm not actually making these golden, I'm just kind of releasing the flavors. It would be even better if I had a smell video too. They haven't made nothing like that though. I like these bright colors. or these colors that change and makes these dishes look so pretty. And like I said, I'm just sauteing this to release the flavor. I may not even go the full 5 minutes. You don't have to. If you're using something this gentle, it's unnecessary. The next ingredient will be 1 pound of sliced mushrooms. You can use any type. You can mix your mushrooms with varieties. You can use button mushrooms, portobellos, shiitake, any type of mushroom you would like. There is no preference to this. I happen to be using portobellos. Those are ones that are available for me and the ones that I particularly like. So I have 1 pound of sliced mushrooms. Now these, again, you want to saute these down for about 5 minutes. Oh gosh, y'all, this is going to be so good. I'm going to take this recipe as easy as I can to, in a slower stance, to where you can literally see the converting side to just about any recipe. Now, like I said, I can't always do all of them, but for the most part, they're not that hard to do. I am also getting ready for, this is not particularly one for diabetics, and I clearly understand that, but for those of us who are just watching our weight, like me, took the challenge with my husband. I am looking at a point right now where I am going to have to start saving for the bread for him. So, because his bread is about anywhere from $5 to $6, and you don't get very much. I am currently working on my sourdough starter again, and I am getting ready to make a loaf of sourdough bread. And how I will be using this, believe this or not, this lesson is taught me with my husband. It's embarrassing to say, but I have to say my brother said it the best too. But I'm learning how to eat properly. And so I used to gorge on carbs. I could take a slice of a Dutch sourdough bread, slice it, put it in the freezer. I could pull out one slice, cut it in half, and that's perfectly enough for me for breakfast in the morning. So I'm going to be doing something like that again. It'll cut the cost so we can last longer, and groceries are getting kind of crazy. So alright, so these have just a little bit more to go. You're just wanting to decrease your mushrooms just a bit. You don't want to completely lose them, because this is going to cook even more. And this next step is where it'll start cooking for at least 15 minutes covered. So I just want to saute them right now at the moment. Such beautiful colors. I don't know, I'm just fascinated by the colors of food anymore. I'm looking at food differently, more like a energy fuel instead of comfort. And that was my biggest problem. I would look at food like this comfort thing. I'm looking at it now for fuel for my body, not just comfort. Comfort set me in a different place, and one that was not friendly for me or my husband. I kind of feel somewhat responsible for that. Okay, so after we have our onions and our mushrooms sauteed, the next ingredients, and mind you, this may sound strange, but I will tell you, y'all, this soup is amazing. So I am going to go with 2 teaspoons of dill weed. Oh, that smells so good. One tablespoon of Hungarian paprika. I am using my homegrown Hungarian paprika that I dehydrated. One tablespoon of liquid aminos. That was the conversion. Now, for anybody else, you can use soy sauce. Now I'm going to blend this up really well. And I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken broth. Again, I am using my bone broth. I'm wanting this bone broth in our body, so I am going to be using 2 cups of our own bone broth. I may have to accommodate this like I did last time with just a tad bit of water. We'll see what happens. There's one. Yep. All right, let me get some water in here to top this off. It's just like 1/4 of a cup, so. And there's my 2 cups. Okay, now I'm going to stir this up really well. Mix all these ingredients together. I'm going to turn this down to low. Cover this up, and we're going to simmer this for 15 minutes. After this is simmered, I will be back and we will go through the next steps. Okay, y'all, 15 minutes is up. We're going to take our lid off and we're going to go to our next step. Oh, y'all, if you could smell this. So we have allowed this to simmer for 15 minutes. And our next ingredients is where I'm also going to be doing more of the converting on this recipe than originally. So the next steps is we're going to be using 1 cup of milk. Now for my milk, I am actually, you can use regular milk, you can use almond milk as a conversion. I am actually going to do like I did the cream of mushrooms, or cream of chicken soup, excuse me. I am going to use 3/4 cup of water and 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. So I have my water right here already. So I am going to be adding 1/4 cup of my heavy whipping cream to this. This is going to take the carbs within this too and bring it down as well, but also the fat. And it actually turns it just like milk, but in a safer way. So I have this mixed. Now the next ingredient that will be converted down. This recipe calls for originally 3 cups of all-purpose flour. You know we cannot use all-purpose flour. So this is where I'm going to turn to Miss Victoria's from Keto Kitchen, her all-purpose flour mix. I am going to use 3 tablespoons of this instead. And we are going to take those and add that to our milk base. Now this soup isn't going to be as thick as the cream of chicken soup was. It's not meant to be as thick, so we're not doing it by the cups. We're doing this by the tablespoons. So we're going to add 3 tablespoons of this and mix it very well. You can choose, if you did not have this mix, you can also choose to use xantham gum. I'm not sure the ratios on xantham gum, to be honest with you, so I would take and start with my smallest first and work your way up to your desired consistency. But that is a product that also can be used if you do not have the stuff to make this. And xanthan gum can be found at Walmart too, so I'm trying to keep it as also convenient as possible. I have now mixed my mix and I'm going to add it to the soup. Now I'm just going to mix this really well. Okay, so at this point we're going to cover this again, stirring occasionally. And we're going to simmer this again for 15 minutes, and that lid is quite warm. So now I'm going to go ahead and set my timer again at simmer for 15 minutes, and we will be back. Okay, our 15 minutes is up again, so I'm going to totally remove this lid. I've been stirring this periodically throughout this, and it turned out really good. That ratio with the 3 tablespoons worked well. But again, like I said, you can use xanthan gum if you want, and I'm going to go over this briefly afterwards. So our next and final steps to this recipe is adding a half a cup of sour cream. And we're going to blend that in really well. This is a very creamy mushroom soup too. Oh, that smells so good. I've had this soup many a times. This is the first time I'm actually converting it, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, to be honest. So now I'm going to add some cracked pepper to your liking. Mix that really well. And this is another ingredient. You can choose to omit it if you want to, but the final ingredient is 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. I actually like the flavor, so does my hubby with this, so we're going to add it. Mix that together, heat this through, blend it well, and you have a Hungarian mushroom soup. And now while this is heating through, I'm going to go back and review this recipe. In recipes that we see in everyday life and everything that we once knew before anything hit our lives that changed our world, such as diabetes, or even if you didn't want it, even if you didn't have diabetes, even if you just wanted to change your whole lifestyle. When we look at ordinary recipes that says we can't, we'll turn around and say, yes, we can. So again, in review, this recipe had 3 tablespoons of butter. We kept that. 2 cups of onions chopped. We kept that. A pound of mushrooms. We kept that. So far, no change. 2 teaspoons of dill weed. We kept that. A tablespoon of Hungarian paprika. We kept that. A tablespoon of soy sauce. We changed that to liquid aminos. 2 cups of chicken broth. We kept that. 1 cup of milk. We changed that, changing it to either almond milk or 3/4 cup of water to 1/4 cup heavy cream. 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We changed that. I used Victoria's all-purpose flour, or you can use xantham gum. Ground pepper, we kept that. Sour cream, we kept that. Now you can use Greek yogurt in this too, by the way. And then 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. We kept that. We used an ordinary recipe, only changing basically 2 ingredients: the flour and the milk. Now this is heated through. I'm going to take it off of here, cover it up, and I'm going to switch it with my pan so that we can make, I'm going to go ahead and make the grilled cheese with you all. So I'm going to put the lid back on this, and I'm going to plate this up with you. I'm going to take and move this over now. Let this stay warm. Ooh, that pot's heavy. And I'm going to bring over my cast iron skillet. And while my cast iron skillet is heating up, I will be right back and I will prepare for making these. Okay, I am going to be using 1 tablespoon of ghee in this pan. I am using the low carb keto bread, and I'm going to put 2 sandwiches in here. Now I'm going to take my non-deli meat. You can use deli meat, just watch it nitrates in them. A good Black Forest ham is good for this too. All these have some really good choices that are way better than most grocery store selections I've seen when it comes to nitrates free and lower carb deli meats. But I'm going to use the real thing. So I'm just going to make a layer of this ham, and I did trim some of the fat off of this too. Just like so. Okay, set this aside. Now one of these is going to be made with Havarti cheese, the other is going to be made with Swiss. I'm going to take a piece of Swiss on that one and place my top. Everybody knows pretty much how to do a grilled cheese, but my point for this is to show you how even low carb bread can actually toast. And then I'm going to take the other one, if my cheese don't stick. And these are thinner, so I'm going to put an extra piece of Havarti on here. That's why it tore so easy. Okay, and now I'm just going to top that off. Now I'm going to let these toast on the bottom, and then I'll flip them. I'll put these ingredients away while these are toasting, and we will be right back. Okay, so now we're going to flip our grilled cheese sandwiches. Flip this over nicely. See that golden brown on that? They toast beautifully, just like any other bread. Flip this around as well. Set that in my pan and get the second side done. And you get that beautiful golden color on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I'm going to set the station up so I can show you how to plate this mushroom soup. Okay, and our beautiful grilled ham and cheese sandwiches are done. Just going to cut it down the middle. Serve it. And I'm going to do this to both of them. Just like so. Now we're going to plate our mushroom soup. I'll get my ladle. Let me move this pot over here so it's easier for me. Actually, I'm going to move it right here, so I'm not sure y'all can see this or not, but we're going to try it. So we're going to take our soup, ladle it in our bowls. And I tasted this. It's amazing, y'all. And then we're going to take, and this is totally optional. You do not have to do this. You can leave it just as it is. Or you can take a small dollop of sour cream in the middle. Just like so. And if you have fresh parsley, it would even be better. I didn't happen to have any fresh, but mine are dehydrated from fresh. And then just sprinkle a little parsley on top. And that's it, y'all. A beautiful Hungarian creamy mushroom soup and grilled cheese, ham and cheese sandwich. I will give you a closer look at this and swing you around. And there we have it. That is our finished soup. And then we have our ham and cheese grilled sandwiches. Converting recipes does not have to be hard. I hope I took this slowly enough with you, calmly enough with you, that you can see it's not that hard to do. It requires some thinking, but through my channels, I am helping you with extra resources to make this so much easier for you. The flavors are absolutely there. So I hope you enjoyed this meal. I hope you enjoyed being in the kitchen with me tonight. Look forward to a video with hubby and I, because we actually have a surprise for you. Not sure exactly how exciting it would be, but to me, it's absolutely amazing. So it's kind of on one that I'm kind of scared about, but I really have been wanting to know this. So I'm hoping within the next week or two that we will get this one out. I have to go based by when hubby's off work. So I'm hungry, y'all. I love you dearly. Until next time, much love from Parton's Heritage Homestead.